Hello, friends. Welcome to this latest episode of the Kumbi-Gikku Show on JK Sports India YouTube channel. And this is reviewing the India-Pakistan one-sided match, we can say, in Dubai on Sunday night, with India convincing victors by 7 wickets, dominating Pakistan in all departments. And to discuss this and more on India's second straight group win in this Asia Cup is K Srinath, cricketer turned umpire. Welcome, Sri. Welcome to this latest episode of the Kumbi-Gikku Show. Were you surprised with the way India just dominated Pakistan in all departments, winning, posting yet another comfortable victory over the opponents?
Not at all. Not at all. As I said, inexperienced batting lineup, uh, and they had a good bowling attack and selection of the playing 11. I mean, I would say India ticked all the boxes right, but Pakistan hardly got to tick any of the boxes. So definitely not surprised. I would say it was just an extension of the game which India played against UAE. It was just an open hit session, and it was an extension, I would say, and India just had a walk in the park. They just cantered through. At no given point in time, you could say that the Indian boys were under the pump or they were put under pressure. Comprehensive victory, really a clinical performance. And yes, having known the style of play which Pakistan possesses and the sort of transition they are going through, it was not a surprise for me the way India cantered through, the last night against Pakistan.
Except for the toss that went Pakistan's way, nothing went their way. And even though India began with a wide down the leg side, first ball, Hardik Pandya, he just struck next ball. So much was spoken about Saim Ayub, the opener, but then he was out the first legal delivery of the match, and Pakistan just did not. They were not in the game until in the end when Shaheen Afridi, with those 4 sixes and 30 odd runs remaining unbeaten, took their team beyond 100. Otherwise, it would have been just about 100, 110 was what India would have been facing, wasn't it?
Absolutely, I think there was absolutely no calmness or there was no planning per se in the middle. Either they were stuck, with a handbrake on, or they went on overdrive. And as you said, losing 2 wickets in the first couple of overs straight away put them on the back foot. Barring the likes of Fakhar Zaman on the top, there's not much of experience there Pakistan has. So, and adding to that, a very important thing is a lot of people have spoken about this, about strike rates being spoken, and Pakistan were just trying to look for those boundaries rather than trying to rotate strike and, build the pressure on the Indians. 63 dot balls out of 120 deliveries. That is just more than 50% of the innings were dot balls. That shows the way sort of strangle the Indian bowlers had on the Pakistani batters. As I said, they were going nowhere. Even you spoke about the late surge and a flourish from Shaheen Shah Afridi. At the top, it was Farhan, who made 40 of 44 balls. Less than 100 strike rate in T20 cricket. It's just not on. So it showed even when Farhan hit those boundaries or sixers, the next 2, 3 balls were all dot balls. So Pakistan were just lost. They had no clue. And in fact, most of them at the top there, they all look like, half-baked and uncooked products. It's like not playing much of domestic cricket, trying to learn from what mistakes they've made back home there. They were trying to experiment, get out of jail, in an international game, in a pedestal like an Asia Cup playing against a top side like India. So a palpable batting performance. Absolutely, as you mentioned, excepting the toss, I don't think Pakistan got anything right. So maybe, the one silver lining in the cloud was the batting form of Shaheen Shah Afridi. And also, if you harp upon the selection part of it, I mean, how would a team go in just with one frontline fast bowler
Mm.
and play 3 or 4 spinners? I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. And somebody like Harris Roth, who's an express bowler, who certainly can, trouble any international opponent. You just leave him out and play, spinners and say that he's a mystery spinner, the best in the world. I mean, whom are you playing against? The number one T20 side in the world. I think right from the start, their selection, their playing 11, and the way they batted, and once you just get 127 on board, what else can your bowlers do? So that's it. I think it was totally an off day for Pakistan and just a walk in the park for India.
It was a case of the roles reversing. Like Shahid Shah Afridi was expected to deliver the ball, but gave them some crucial runs. And their opener, Saim Ayub, who is supposed to be scoring quite a few runs at the top of the order, was doing with the ball, but not with the bat. So something is not really good their way. And going by the recent performances, Saim Ayub has been struggling for runs. So that's something that Pakistan have to look deep. The combination of Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah caught Bumrah, bowled Pandya in the first over. Second over, it was caught Pandya, bowled Bumrah. After that, it was spinners all over. Kuldeep Yadav yet again leading from the front. Second consecutive man of the match award performance. And he seems to be unstoppable, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's a no-brainer that the spinners are going to play a huge role in this Asia Cup. And once the first 4 or 5 overs during the power play is off with the faster bowlers, you're going to see Varun Chakravarti bowl an over or odd, or Akshar Patel come in the power play. And then, I mean, the beauty about the Indian spinners was it's just not about bowling those dot balls. It was being aggressive. You had a slip in place most of the times because Pakistan were losing wickets at very regular intervals. And the funniest part was Pakistan were just not able to pick Kuldeep Yadav, whether he was bowling the googly or whether he was bowling the normal leg break, which the unorthodox left arm spinner bowls. So they were just playing him off the surface. So that made it all the more, advantageous for Kuldeep and the variation in speeds. And you could see, especially when Akshar Patel got the wicket of Fakhar Zaman, he just bowled it a little bit wide and a bit slow in the air, where it got the bottom of the bat and was caught out at long on. So it was just about the mindset, the aggressive mindset of the Indian spinners. Obviously, when you bowl dot balls in T20 cricket, the pressure is going to mount. But as I said earlier, Pakistan had no clue. They were just trying to go for those boundary hits and never looked at rotating the strike. If you're going to play six singles in an over, that obviously is going to put pressure on the bowlers. And obviously, in T20 cricket, in between, you're going to get those boundaries. As I always mention, 6 into 3, 18 overs of spin bowling is gold dust for India. And we also saw Abhishek Sharma come in and roll his arm over for 1 over, where even he could not be milked for more than 5 runs in that over. So that showed the sort of confidence Pakistan had in their batting. But overall, it was a fantastic bowling performance by India, especially the three spinners.
And we saw Jasprit Bumrah bowl his 3 out of 4 overs in the power play, but then after that, it was the middle overs were totally controlled by the Indian spin trio of Akshar, Varun, and Kuldeep Yadav. The reverse sweeps, the too many reverse sweep shots that the Pakistanis played, that also didn't help their cause. And you were saying about their opener, whose strike rate was just under 100. But what do you say for their captain, who was scoring at 25%, 3 runs in 12 balls, not middling the ball? That speaks their mindset and also how good Indian bowlers were.
Absolutely. You can strategize, you can have any number of plans for each batter or each bowler. But end of the day, the situation is something that shouldn't be overtaking you. So I felt that Pakistan were under the pump straight away. The sort of duress they were in, and mind you, the sort of experience the Indian boys have. They've played T20 cricket for a very long time. They've all been a part of IPL, which has been in existence for 18 years. Somewhere the formula has been cracked by the Indians, whereas Pakistan is still, I would say, a work in progress. And losing out on their senior pros like Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam has not done any good to them. Adding to that, their top seven, I think I read somewhere saying they had about 3 or 4 batters who were typically opening batsmen. So how would you expect somebody who walks in at number 6 to come and face a Kuldeep Yadav or an Akshar Patel straight away? And mind you, as I was mentioning last time around, the slight advantage of playing in Dubai, India had one game under the belt. So and Surya was not faced when he lost the toss and they said they were going to chase. So I mean, good toss to win, not a sort of a pitch which wherein you aim for. I think Pakistan looked at something like 170, 180. It was certainly not a surface which would fetch you that. They should have targeted something like 150, 160. If they had got 150, that was certainly, total that was par score on that particular pitch. But when you get in the middle there is no time for you to reassess the situation. You lost two in the power play, a partnership of 20 odd. Suddenly you lose wickets in clutters. So there's no time for you to think about rebuilding or reassessing what you want to do. So that's where, they were going nowhere from the start. And as you mentioned, clinical performance by Indians, especially the middle overs, it was just not only about putting brakes on the scoring rates, picking wickets at regular intervals, what made the huge difference.
Were you surprised that Shivam Dube, who picked up 3 wickets in the match against UAE, was not given a ball, or it was going with the situation, the conditions, and the opposition that India were up against?
I think, look, when the three spinners have bowled so well, and when the pitch was conducive, it was holding on a bit, and there was a little bit of bounce and extra turn. I mean, why would you want an extra seamer to come and roll in and bowl those overs? Unless and until where Hardik went for a few runs in the last over he bowled. I think the rest were all looking fine and fettle, and that's what is important. Unless and until one of your spinners has an off day, I think Shivam Dube would certainly not come into the equation. Maybe you could look at him again bowl against Oman, wherein it could be a over or two for Hardik Pandya and Bumrah. But I feel his bowling resource would be used only when it's going to be a dire necessity. Otherwise, it's going to be 12 overs of spin for you. That's going to be the key in this tournament.
And why not even rest one of them, even rest Bumrah against Oman, and keep him fresh maybe for this next stage, which is the Super Four. So that's something that maybe is allowed, especially against Oman, which is coming Friday in Abu Dhabi. Do you
Yeah,
agree with
that could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. Yeah, it's a welcome break for him also. And Arshdeep, your number one T20 bowler in world cricket, certainly can have a go at it. So India would take it one at a time. Then when they get to play against Oman on 18th, I think they'll be regrouping again, have a day or two off and get back and then think about what they want to do against Oman.
And India have had a fantastic net run rate, considering that they finished the match against UAE in just under 5 overs. And yesterday also they had a convincing victory with plenty to spare. So their net run rate is something which is phenomenal. And the start given by Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill. Abhishek Sharma, what is it that he is falling in the 30s? 30 against UAE, 31 against Pakistan last night, but he gets off the mark with the boundary. Either it is 6 under 4 of the first two deliveries as he did against UAE, or the other way around, 4 under 6 like he did against Shaheen Afridi last night.
What's important in this format is how optimally you can make use of the first 6 overs. The finish and touch of Shubman Gill, the calming influence he can bring in, and the sort of long balls Abhishek Sharma can play. Like, Shaheen Shah Afridi ran in the first over. We talk about what sort of damage can he, do up front. The damage was when he started running in, we saw Abhishek Sharma come down the pitch and whack him, straight down the ground for a 4, followed by a 6. I think that's the sort of fearless brand of cricket this Indian team has played under Surya Kumar Yadav. So when we talk about the last 18 months, when India has played 20 odd T20Is in South Africa at home, their results have been so conducive, and India has won convincingly. Mainly is due to the sort of brand of cricket India has played. As was mentioning in our preview of the Asia Cup, more than 9.5 is what India is scoring at. So it's just that live by the sword, die by the sword. And mind you, the sort of batting lineup India possesses. So we lost Shubman a bit early yesterday. That allowed somebody like Surya Kumar Yadav to walk in. He took about 10 odd balls to start striking. So when they lost Abhishek Sharma, again Tilak Verma and Surya were able to stitch a partnership. So then we had Shivam Dube come in. After that, who is left out for you? You've got Sanju Samson, you've got the likes of Hardik Pandya. This lineup, even if India is going to be 20 for 3 in the first 4 overs, you can expect this side to get to 180 or 190. I think that's the sort of brand they have built, the brand of cricket they've been playing for quite some time, and that's been successful. And mind you, all these boys have been part of franchisee cricket, the high profile IPL, wherein They get to lock horns against the best in the business. So that gives them the supreme confidence, and pressure is second skin for them. So I think India took an over or two because of the slow outfield. Otherwise, India would have finished this game off in 12 or 13 overs. So it was good to see. In fact, you were apprehensive. You were questioning about, Surya having not played for so long after undergoing the hernia operation. So how did he look to you yesterday?
He was the same good old Surya that we all know, Mr. 360, whatever that is, playing all over. There was no signs of whether no he has actually undergone a hernia operation. There was no signs of that, so he was just continued from where he left off previously. And not to forget Akshar Patel, who sometimes bats at number 4 or even 5, is coming as late as number 8. So that you can imagine how deep India's batting is. And like you said, 180, even with loss of early wickets, 180 200 is still not impossible for this lineup. Looking ahead, okay, it is going to be India versus Oman come Friday. But then, when you look at the larger picture, you have mentioned about the other group being the group of death: Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh among the teams that two of them can go to the next four. These kind of wins will not only give them confidence, India that is, but also prepare them for the tougher battles ahead, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think, look, India is not taking any team lightly. They're taking it one at a time. So a lot of positives for India to take away from this. And yes, you maintain the winning streak. As I always tell people, winning is a habit. It's just doesn't come overnight. It's a habit you develop over a period of time, which this Indian team has done very well. And yes, again, mind you, India will again face off Pakistan in the Super Force. So for Pakistan, I think the headache is much more. So what do they take out of this game? Again, they're going to lock horns with India again in the Super Force. To me, what I found was Abrar who bowled at very slow speeds, varied his line, 4 overs for just for 15 or 16. He looked good. And Sai Mayub, the off spinner who picked up 3 wickets, he was a silver lining in Pakistan's bowling lineup. Though he went for 35 odd in the 4 overs, I think he picked up those 3 wickets. But if Pakistan's strategy is going to rely more on their four spinners and not play another fast bowler apart from Shaheen Shah Afridi, I think they are going to be in big, big trouble. So they need to get back to the drawing board, rework their whole strategy, work on their playing 11, try and see how they can, look at getting in Harry Shroff at some point in time, or even Hassan Ali, who can be handy with the bat and he can bowl you 140 plus and bowl the cutters also. So for India moving forward, there's a lot of choices for them still. They've got a couple of boys on the bench who can still play against Oman, and India can try out a certain combination in the games coming up. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, it's a must-win game for them when they play UAE in the next round, so that they get next to the Super Force. But
Right.
they've got a lot of work to do because once they get to the Super Force, it's going to be the four best sides in the tournament that's going to be there. India, Pakistan, it could be Sri Lanka, it could be Bangladesh or Afghanistan. So that's where the real serious cricket starts.
And Pakistan will also be looking at minimizing their dot ball percentage. 10.5 overs is what they have not faced at all or not scored off. Maybe they look at having scored 127 runs in the 9.5 overs and see how they can maximize from the remaining 10.5 overs, at least get at least half of their last night's total. That could take them to a competitive total. Maybe it's a 170, 180 and post a challenge to the opposition, isn't it?
Absolutely, as I said, it's just about trying to find your feet, and because the young side and the aura about playing India, the expectations that are around you, and always the needle is there, and the extra pressure when India Pakistan play, and India having been used to this sort of pressure situations, so they are slightly better off than Pakistan. So not that Pakistan is short of talent, but I think they need to regroup that quickly because this is a very short tournament and the shortest format that is being played. Yeah, it's just that they need to get together, get their act together, find the right combination is what is the most important thing. Otherwise, getting into the Super Force is going to be easy for them because it's just one more game against UAE, but they'll find tougher opponents there to move forward from there on.
And what a perfect 35th birthday for the captain Surya Kumar Yadav. Not only India winning, but also himself staying unbeaten and ensuring that India won comfortably against Pakistan. So on that note, fantastic reviews, Sri. Thank you so much, and see you again ahead of the next India match. Take care, stay safe, and have a good week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Gikku.
Bye.